Welcome to the Logan Fields Podcast. Today I have Steve Lequerica, who is the COO of LiveRecover, but you've worked with more than 4,000 brands. Is that right?
Yeah, to date. Wow. I'm like just thinking about that. Yeah, started, I think coming close to 5 years with LiveRecover. And yeah, I'd say I've at least talked to 4,000, maybe even more.
That's really insane. I want to dive into that real quick. Give people an idea of what LiveRecover does.
So LiveRecover, at its core, we have real people acting as a sales team for e-commerce brands.
Okay.
So anytime someone goes to a site, looks to buy a shirt, adds it to their cart, they don't buy, we can text them with real people and look to understand what's going on, why they didn't buy. Was it sizing? Was it this? And we'll educate the customer through the purchase journey and ultimately recover that sale for brands, in turn giving them profitable revenue they wouldn't have because they can't legally text those customers today. And so we basically fill a gap at checkout, do abandoned cart recovery with real humans.
So that's a really interesting differentiator, particularly right now, where business is like so automation heavy. It's more and more AI heavy, tech stack heavy, all of that. So why would somebody hire LiveRecover instead of like a GHL expert to just do automations?
Yeah, I mean, that's like fundamentally why we're in business, right? Like there's so much noise, and it's like funny, like when, you ask me, or when I'm on podcasts and they ask me like, what does LiveRecover do? What's a sales pitch? And it's like, my mind starts to go down so many different rabbit holes because there's so much we do.
Yeah.
But truly, fundamentally, what we're doing is we're able to text customers that a brand can't text today. And in turn, it's a numbers game. The more people we text and the more people we're providing a good buying experience to, they're going to be stickier to the brand. They're going to buy. And then ultimately we're bringing profit, like we're bringing incremental revenue back to these brands.
I think we're about to have like a pretty tactical conversation for at least parts of this. I have immediate questions coming up. First question is, why the emphasis on text over email? Because I noticed you're speaking a lot about text. You didn't mention email. Why is that?
Yeah, so text over email, and that can tie back into the other question that you asked. Somebody that gets a text message, they're going to open it 99% of the time. Email, I think there's a necessary evil for email always. It's low cost. It's a great way to acquire customers, but I haven't opened up an email from a brand probably in like 3 years.
Yeah.
It's a 20% open rate if you're lucky. So just that alone. But to tie back to your other question is like, why not automations over what you guys do any day? I think it's not this or that. It's always both, right? Because actually what we do and why we're able to provide a guaranteed ROI for brands is we can legally text people that don't opt into marketing explicitly.
How?
Right? So like they wouldn't, like you can legally send an automation or send a AI bot to someone that opts into marketing.
Yes.
But if they're not opted in, you can't text them from like an automated platform. But similar to like political text, if you've ever gotten those political texts around a political time, you're like, why is this person texting me?
Yeah.
How did they get my information?
Yep.
It's called peer-to-peer messaging. That's what we are as a platform. So legally, when you look at all the laws and the TCPA, CTIA laws that go into, telemarketing, that is a separate opt-in versus what's called automation to person or application to person. So we can legally text people once as long as someone enters their phone number at some point at the checkout, regardless if they're opted in to marketing or not, right? So like for a brand, it's never should be, well, I have automations doing this or I have email doing this. Like I got this covered. Why do I need LiveRecover for cart recovery? It's like, well, you're missing a whole opportunity of customers and like a huge funnel, right? Once you unlock and have, whether it's LiveRecover or any type of, you can even test like your own CX agents, which won't work. And it's, there's a cost to that, right? But to have us instantly within 10 minutes, as you know, as the app guy, you can have our Shopify app plugged in 10 minutes,
Yeah.
give our agents some basic brand guidelines, set
Yeah.
up the offer the way you want it, and then instantly anybody that abandons checkout that you're not able to talk to today, we're instantly starting to have conversations with them, understanding why they're not buying and bringing revenue back to the store.
That's really interesting.
But it always should be, that's like the big awareness piece that will always need to be front to brands and people we work with. What you just said is, why not automations over LiveRecover? It's always automations, AI, and LiveRecover to complete the abandonment funnel.
Okay. And so are you like, you'd say you're human first then?
That's exactly why we're able to be what we are. You know, if we can't, like, that whole initial message is always sent from a human. Every single text message is sent from a human, as if you and I are
But
texting.
that's not, it sounds like you're saying that's not just because of the legality, right?
Well, it is a big piece of the
That
legality.
is a big piece of it?
Because we, you know, other companies have some iteration of like a human element to their text platform, right? But they only deal with people that are opted into the marketing list.
Yes,
So
right.
that initial message will be sent by like an AI bot or like a triggered automated flow.
Yeah.
And then they'll jump in with like their concierge. But LiveRecover is always, every single conversation, every single message is human first. And that's kind of the moat.
That's really interesting. And so what else is happening? How else are the humans involved after the initial contact? Where else are the humans coming in?
The way I want you to envision it is as if you were at Nike or Abercrombie Fitch at the mall and you had like that in-store like personal shopper with you, just handing you new clothes, you know, going through anything that you need really and helping you through, like, because our agents, they of course are there to incentivize and help them buy,
Yeah.
but also post sale, you know, we're providing support and helping them. Maybe if they haven't gotten their order shipped in a few days, or maybe in a couple weeks, they're like, hey, like I want to gift something to my brother.
Yeah.
They can literally contact that person back as if it was someone from Nordstrom, and they're like, hey, like, can I come in? Like, is there any way that like you can give me another offer for like if I buy 3 shirts and I want to get it from my brother, like, but I just won't get paid in 2 weeks. Like all that experience, like think about the last time you've been able to have that type of experience with someone online.
Yeah, no,
Of course, you know, you're dealing, like I've been dealing with Delta Airlines the past couple of weeks with disastrous flight delays, trying to talk to someone from their team or this, that. I'm always interested in what that experience is like, because, you know, a lot of it's AI these days, which, you know, you could get good prompt responses, but again, it's just, we're talking about apples and oranges. Like a brand can always use as much AI, as much automation as they want, but if they're not leveraging live agents for that portion of their whatever traffic to their website, their abandonment volume, they're missing out on revenue that's just sitting there.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, well that's really interesting too, because it sounds like that's going to change massively people's CAC. Well, not their CAC, but it'll change their CAC.
For sure.
Their ROAS.
For sure.
It changes all the numbers, and it makes their marketing dollars and their sales efforts and their soft costs worth more. I'd love to hear some stories.
No, I love the way that you speak the same language. Like you're throwing out those marketing acronyms. So, you know, like, absolutely. I mean, everything to do with lowering CAC, hiring LTV, you know, all these brands.
Yeah.
Like even if you're someone doing 10 grand a month, you generally are going to be paying ad dollars to drive traffic to your site.
Yes.
No matter how much traffic you drive, whether it's 1 view a day or hundreds of thousands a day, there's going to be a large subset of traffic that you can't reach out to because they're never going to opt into marketing.
Well, this makes sense. This is where the juice is, right? I think the 10,000, what you say a month is an interesting example, right? Because those are people that they want to make more money. Like that's like, oh, I need to make more money to secure my livelihood. And the typical approach is, okay, I need to now generate 20K a month. Right. Whereas, which is true, however, it's probably not the first truth, right? The first truth is get data heavy and squeeze more profit while still being great customer experience out of the existing revenue. So it sounds like you do that. So somebody's generating 10K a month. Maybe they're bringing home 5
Yeah.
They use you, they're going to bring home 6 or 7 probably.
Yeah. Because there's an element, of course, there's a cost to our solution, but it's so low lift and entry point, you can literally get going and all you're paying is like a $50 subscription fee, right? We take a percentage of revenue we recover. So we only charge when we've actually done our job. We eat all human costs, messaging costs, carrier costs, which is atypical in our market. SMS and email usually is a volume play, which these days, nowadays in the market, it's an interesting uphill battle these days for D2C brands continuing to overcome tariffs, all challenges that have been faced over the last 12 to 24 months. So, people are also, there's been law changes in SMS recently, like traditional SMS.
Yeah.
But, we categorize ourselves in really kind of a very interesting island where it doesn't matter what brands are doing on email, SMS, et cetera. Like as long as they're on Shopify or BigCommerce, we can just plug in alongside of them, to your point.
Yeah.
And they're going to, pay us 5% in terms of the revenue we recover. But if we recover $100,000 in incremental revenue,
yes,
and they're giving us $5,000, I'm sure, they don't mind that.
Right. Well, and that's great. So you must be kind of selective over who you work with then, right?
No, because we can support someone doing, sub $1 million, just getting off the ground running, $10,000 a month, and barely, maybe they have a couple abandoned checkouts a month. Or someone doing, 9 figures plus, which obviously that abandonment volume would be much different.
Right.
But, because of our pricing, we only charge when we've converted the sale. Like if someone's low volume, I'll just give them no subscription fee until they scale up, and they're only charged when we actually do our job and recover the sale. And there it just should be, as long as we're aligned with margins, because, someone selling firearms might have different margins than someone selling like spices or creatine gummies.
Right.
So, I'll align with them on what's the pricing model that's going to work as long as we're not losing money. This should be something that's just scalable, and, whether they eventually change their tech stack, like that's what's been so unique in working here and why I've always just had such strong belief that we're on the right path is I've worked with brands for years and they've changed from Salesforce Commerce Cloud to Shopify, from this email provider to that email provider, from that SMS platform to that SMS platform, never touched LiveRecover. So, I mean, that just speaks kind of to the value add of the platform.
That's pretty cool, man. Are you seeing a certain type of product works really, really well right now on e-commerce? Oh, we got Manjo here. You want a drink?
What's up, guys? My name is Manjo. Logan, how's it going?
Here, I'll take mine.
Oh, hey, man. Fist bump. This is a vodka soda with mint and lime.
Wow. We're getting spicy early.
I wanted to start you guys off with a drink, but I'm also going to serve you some food. What's on the menu for today is shrimp cocktail with my special sauce. I can't tell you because it's a secret.
Nice.
But would you guys like to try it?
Yes, for
Absolutely.
sure.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, give me a couple minutes, and I'm going to be right back with some food. I hope you guys are hungry, so enjoy. Right?
Well, let's go. Man. Okay.
Cheers.
If I would have known we were eating.
Yeah. It's good too, right?
Yummy. God, you're spoiling me, Logan.
Yeah, this is the way to do it, man.
All right, this really is. I mean, I'm going to a big steakhouse tonight, but now I'm like, I just want to eat what chef's going to be bringing me. So it's like, if there's going to be multiple courses, I'm ready. I am ready.
What steakhouse are you going to? I'm
going to Blue on the Hudson. I don't know, have you ever been?
No, but I've heard of it.
Yeah, it's I love it. I mean, I haven't had steak in a couple weeks, and I'm going to be going out to San Diego for a couple e-commerce events like in the next 2 weeks, and I just feel like when I go out to Cali, like I don't know if it's just the Cali vibes, but I feel like I eat like a bird.
Yeah.
A lot of times when I'm out there.
Yeah.
And so I want to get my fix in. I might have a cookie skillet too. I'm addicted to cookie skillets.
Those are good, dude.
Yes.
I love nice restaurants. Like our restaurant budget is kind of obscene. But it's nice.
Some of those contracts you land, I'm sure that helps.
But it's nice too when you have a business and you're going with business friends. It's like an expense, right?
Yes.
But
yes,
for us, I think aesthetic is really, really important to me.
Mm-hmm.
I want a good vibe and good service. I really love awesome food. But if I had to pick amazing vibe with fine food or awesome food with a shitty vibe, I'm picking the vibe.
Yeah. 100%. And I'm big on vibes too. I think the vibe, like this vibe's great. I'm taking this girl. It's funny. I'm taking this girl out that I met at the airport like 2 weeks ago.
Nice.
And funny enough, I was talking to her about a blind date that I had just gone on, and she was talking to me. She was flying to go see someone kind of on a blind date. And just funny how we stayed in contact. I was like, did you fall in love? And she was like, no, it actually didn't go well. And then I was like, oh, well, let's meet up next weekend. And so last weekend I met up with her, and just, it's fun. I find life so funny. You gotta embrace the journey. And I've in the last 12 months, got out of a long-term relationship. I was living in Cincinnati, Ohio for 7 years. And
were you? Okay.
Now I'm back in North Jersey.
Right.
And yeah, man, it's life's a funny journey.
Do you go to a lot of cool restaurants?
I think I do. That's one place where I'm pretty frugal. I'm cheap.
Are you?
But
you do not strike me as that kind of guy.
My friends would tell you differently. They're funny, but I always said until I'm 6 feet under, I'm never going to hold myself back on when it comes to food. So I'll spend any amount of money on food. That's my splurge.
Yeah.
I have a Honda Accord 2012 used. It's got 90,000 miles on it. I'll probably never get another car, even if and when LiveRecover sells.
Because you're just not a car guy.
I'm not a car guy. I think, and I'm not that I'm above anybody, but I just think it's the most depreciating asset you'll ever own.
It is.
As soon as it leaves the lot. And then, it's just, I don't even care to drive. I Uber a lot. I have friends drive. I'm pretty just basic.
What about with travel? Do you travel cheap, or are you going first class?
I won't go first class, but I will do business class, or extra leg room.
Okay.
I'll because obviously a lot of times it's not coming out of my pocket anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
Thank you, Corey. Love you.
I'm semi-similar in that food we'll just spend on.
Yes.
Right. We'll just spend on it, and it's really nice to be at a place where I don't have to look at the prices on the menu and all of that. Car, I have a good car. I have a Tesla.
Respect.
But I could have a Lambo. But I have a Tesla. Do you know what I mean?
No, 100%.
Yeah, and I have a good house, but I don't have a 7,000 square foot mansion at the moment. But the food we'll just do.
Dude, the food and I'm with you. I do believe in real estate. I have a real estate partner. We bought the multifamily that I moved back to in Jersey in the past year.
Nice.
So he's a big time real estate savant. He owns his own mortgage brokerage. And his brother's also a big-time real estate agent. So we're all in one house together.
Oh, that's fun.
And his brother lives on the second floor. I live on the first floor with him and his girlfriend, my sister. And, now we have a goal to buy at least a house a year.
That's cool.
And so we did that. And then now we're actually under contract under our second multifamily. That's in Nutley as well. A block or two down.
Yeah.
So we're not going to be too far from each other.
There you go.
But yeah, we're big on strength in numbers. So on this property, we have another partner that we brought in, and obviously that makes things easier on down payment and moving fast on a deal these days.
Are you finding deals difficult at the moment to find?
No, because I feel like there's never any shortage of inventory with kind of the way our setup is.
Okay.
I'm surrounded by mortgage lenders and realtors.
Yeah.
There's constant just action.
Yeah.
And this for example, we found we put an offer on another one that was on market, and then it fell through, and then this one fell in our lap. It's off market. We found out about it through one of my buddy's friends that was we were just talking to them, and they're like, yeah, we're thinking of selling our house. And then we saw it, and it was identical bones and numbers to what we were just under contract with. And it's the next thing you know, we're in a week, we're under contract now with this
quick.
one.
Okay.
Yeah, because we're saving on any time that we get into a deal, we're not going to pay any, mortgage fees or realtor fees.
Yeah.
Or try to minimize that as much as possible because we have all of those resources at hand. So rather than having to go through a realtor, we'll just have, one of our team members use their license to write up the contracts and whatnot and get the deal in place. And then we're moving, and we move quickly. That's I think the big value, in any deal or any business that I'm in, and whenever you're in able to capitalize on something like a deal, as time kills all.
Yes.
So we like to move, and we like to move quickly.
That's the thing, man, right? You got to move just in life and business. You got to move quick, and you got to take a critical mass of opportunities. I call it optimizing for serendipity.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, because people might look at certain deals you get or whatever and be like, man, how do you get so lucky? Because I fucking go for it, man. What do you mean? Because I have a pool of 100 things that I tried that you did not try, and I got lucky 5 times.
Yeah.
Right? Because I'm moving fast. I'm able to pivot away when I can see it's not working. So the failures also, as you go over time, and it's contextual, right, are not as big because you learn to not go, you start to see signals, and instead of going deeper, you just kill it.
Yes.
And you move to the next thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a big thing.
And in anything, man, I'm sure you have just stories for days, from your experiences. What I've learned along the way is whether it was my first startup, my second company, the third company, or this startup, you have this perception that, they have that title or these investors and this, that, everyone's trying to fucking figure it out. Nobody has all the answers. And a lot of times the people that you think have the answers and that are making the decisions and really pushing the envelope on where you're heading or where you potentially feel your career is heading or the trajectory of the business, it's they're guessing. And it's usually, I had an aha moment in my career when it was just holy, I have just as much of a reason on why this puck is going to move and moves every day and why we're able to excel XYZ in our goals than the number one guy at the top. I mean, so it's you just got to figure out, I think along the way is I think loyalty is something that's been huge for me in my career.
What does that mean to you when you say that?
Yeah, well, I think one of the best lessons I've ever had, and I was so grateful for, is the first startup I ever had, a very successful company. I was the 4th employee. We ended up exiting for $150 million to a publicly traded healthcare company.
Nice.
We brought in, the CEO brought in his wife, who was a motivational speaker-esque for larger companies. Okay. And she taught us purpose, and what it meant. And it was such a profound experience for me and exercise. So I developed, I think it's important everyone should develop purpose. My purpose is 5 pillars. It's 3 P's and the two B's. Okay. Or 3 L's and 2 B's. 3 L's are live every day with passion, love hard, loyal to a fault. And that loyal to a fault's huge. I mean, that's the biggest. It's burned me, before where in business I've had to make decisions and have lost out on huge potential, outcomes. Yeah. But always I would make the same decisions over based on the values and the loyalty. And then the 2 B's is, God willing, be the best father I can be one day and be the best husband I can be. That's awesome. I haven't gotten to those yet, but that's going to come. Yeah. And so
to be that person. Yeah.
When you ask what loyalty is, I think it's just such an integral piece of life, but also business. And I value it immensely in business. So in these days, and also moving forward in any ventures I go into, I'm going to go into it with a very fine tooth comb on those partners, who they are, and do they have that same sense of loyalty,
So that's, I want to talk about that for a little bit, because it's a really interesting concept. I think I am just by nature a pretty committed, loyal person. And this is something that I'm thinking through, though, because I think what I've found in the last years is I've been disappointed to realize that most people, most people, They don't have that mindset. They don't have that ethos. And so then when I give that, it is at best disappointing, but also sometimes like damaging. So I guess my question for you is like, where do you draw that line? Yeah.
It's a great, I mean, that is, I knew you were going down that path. And like, yeah, like, because there's, people that'll potentially listen to this, or you might be sitting there and being like, yeah, like I've heard that before, or I get exactly what you're saying and it's great, but nice guys finish last, especially in business, or, you can't be loyal to your own detriment. And I think there's a very fine line there. Yeah. And you have to find that fine line. I think you can also foster and promote the culture of loyalty, like there's always this adage of you have to be ruthless and cutthroat in business. Like I kind of argue the opposite, that you can lean with love and win still, and like, listen, I'm a North Jersey boy, born and raised. I walk around with a chip on my shoulder 24/7. So I'm definitely never going to let someone walk all over me. Right. But at the same time, like I try to balance, because it is just through and through. It happens every single time when I'm leading with the right intentions and not changing who I am or going down those rabbit holes of listening to those voices in your head. Like I'm always going to have the best outcome. So I like never want to veer off from that loyalty aspect. But to your point, like it's very valid. Like it's tough to say like where I draw that line. I think it's different in every situation.
It totally makes sense. Are you kind of, so when you say loyalty, is it similar to saying give people the benefit of the doubt? Is that a big part of it?
I think it's, like let's take LiveRecover for example. Okay. This has been such an interesting journey, in terms of ups and downs. I mean, there's a lot of reasons along the way that like we shouldn't even like have a business still running, Yeah. And I, to not go down too in the weeds, but to keep it more high level, like along the way, like there could have been so many different reasons and so many different times where I could have just jumped to a different opportunity for more money or for more stability or for this. And I think it's very uncommon these days for, people to stick with companies for like even more than a year or two.
Right. Yeah. I think right now the average is something like 18 months.
And like so much of that, like, and I get there's value to that too, right? You got to find out, learn early, make mistakes, and then figure out where your passion is and where your sweet spot is. But along the way, like if you just always run away from problems or run away from when things get tough, like I'll never be able to, regardless of what happens to the outcome of LiveRecover, like all of what I've learned along the way and what I've seen, the connections I've made, what it's like to be able to rebuild the business once it's tanking, for lack of a better term, and revenues in a place that it's never been. And to now, even if I left LiveRecover today or tomorrow, I would feel confident that, it would be successful and the outcome would be successful. And that's like always a place where I want to be. Like, that's where I feel the most like complete and like fulfilled in my journey is like, okay, like my job's been done. I feel like this is like, I'm ready to go, mess shit up again and start scrappy and with like figuring out how do we get our first 5 customers, like what's our go-to-market motion, like how many calls do I have to make today? Now you're getting, look at me, now I'm getting passionate, thinking about it.
Well, and haven't you, am I remembering right? You've been involved in like almost a dozen startups?
No, not a dozen. I haven't even worked for more than probably 5 companies. Okay. I was at my first startup for 4 years. Yeah. And then had an interesting like pivot, was like kind of in an interesting spot in my career where I worked in, I changed like focus from healthcare to going into supply chain and working with companies like large CPG companies like Procter & Gamble, Kimberly-Clark, and doing vendor managed inventory, still software as a service. And then from there, that's when I bounced to LiveRecover. My buddy is he's an angel investor. Well, he was previously an angel investor, now has his own fund.
Yeah.
And so what's always worked for us is kind of a blueprint is he identifies good software companies, early stage, potential good investment, buys majority share, and then has me go in and run revenue and be eyes and ears and help scale the company. And it's worked for us a couple times, right?
Yeah, that's a good partnership.
You know, his first real big break and big exit was our first startup together, which, you know, I got in on the ground floor. And I mean, it was like everything we ever dreamed of when we would talk in his backyard, like, hey man, like we gotta be successful. You know, you got your hands on all these companies. Like, I like, just give me a chance. Like, let me go out and work with them. And, you know, and so it actually materialized. And so that's kind of where we're at with this journey on LiveRecover. It's been like, obviously, as I mentioned, an interesting journey of, you know, probably a little bit longer of an ROI than the investors would have expected or Michael, but super just unbelievably pleased, if you will, with how we've turned around the business and where it's at now. And, you know, I don't see it slowing down, especially with where we're going on the product roadmap.
That's awesome. I think you also are at a really interesting time in the market in terms of brand where you can say, hey, we are human led. That's or human first. That's awesome.
I mean, that's the whole thing, Lo. Like, you're spot on there. Like, sometimes, like, I think my content can be redundant because, like, that's what I emphasize so much. But at the same time, you don't know who, when, and at what time someone new is watching your stuff and getting their hands on it. So it's like, I don't think there's enough awareness in the market that we can put around two fundamental things. One is the human element, like human connection, human connection, human connection. That's what we are. And that's like, as like much as it should make sense, it still can be like not truly like hitting home for brands or operators or whoever needs to hear that messaging. But it is a fully human-based platform. And then two, because we are a human-based platform, we can engage with customers that you want to engage with, that you spend ad dollars on to drive to your site, that aren't opted into your marketing channel, so you can't retarget them and market to them all you want. But because a human's texting them, then we can legally talk to them and try to convert that into actual revenue for you.
Right.
So, you know, I might be biased, but it's like, why doesn't every brand at least try out live agents? Test out live agents. It doesn't have to be LiveRecover. Test out live agents for your abandonment strategy and see what type of lift it provides outside of what you're already doing to try and get people to buy from abandonment flows, AI automations.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's funny you say that because we're actually at App Guys making that turn at the moment. Where
do you use like their own internal teams for like reaching out to customers like in a live agent way, or do you have your own offshore?
No, they're onshore. They're onshore.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So, and they're in-house, but we were doing only heavy automations basically. And we just have so many people come to us. Like sometimes like hundreds and hundreds a month of people come to us about their app idea. But a lot of people haven't booked all the way. They haven't booked a call. They haven't gone through all the way. Because that's kind of our first big thing is, did you get on our calendar?
Got it.
That's what we're using our live sales staff for. And I'm excited to see where it goes. This is a pretty new approach. AI wasn't getting it done. Not enough, for sure.
Yeah.
AI and automations just weren't hitting all the way.
What about I'm always curious because, again, I'm just a natural born sales guy and I'm always looking for ways to accelerate growth.
Yeah.
I'm always curious to know what other leaders are doing or sales teams are doing to, for their go-to-market motion. Like, how do you source top of funnel to, land meetings and create, sales cycles with
our top of funnel is like ad heavy. Yeah, that's what you're asking. How do we generate the initial leads?
So you run a lot of paid ads.
Yeah, we do. And we're always experimenting with different creative and all of that. I don't want to say it right here, but there's like this one key. We keep winding up going back to the same script. It keeps winning. And I mean for like 3 fucking years, man. I cannot believe it. And I'll have to, because I don't want to say it like publicly.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you the one word, the one thing in our script that just keeps hitting. I just got to remember to do that afterwards. But yeah, we're always experimenting and stuff, and it's ads. It's ads that's generating so much attention. And the way I see it is the ads are the first connect, and then we have a lot of organic content, as you know.
Yep.
And that to me is like a organic retargeting campaign.
Yes.
I don't think people talk about that in the right terms enough. So to me, at least in my case, it's our organic content isn't what is letting people, it's not our first connect with people. It's our second and third and fourth and fifth and sixth connect with people.
Yes.
The first connect is our ads. Typically.
Got it. Yeah. We experiment in ads like off and on, and we're going to definitely re-experiment in that soon. I think I think that's a great model for something like a LiveRecover because we have such a low barrier of entry. Yeah. Like any type of brand, even if you are very, very cost conscious, can instantly set us up in less than 15 minutes. And then also like not have any costs associated with it. It's not like you have to pay a $1,500 implementation fee, talk to someone, et cetera. If you don't even want to talk to someone, it's pretty self-serve.
Yeah.
Like the original founders like kind of had the whole mindset of like, listen, like this app should be so straightforward and easy to use. They're instantly printing money. Like we don't need to talk to customers. That's kind of was the biggest shift that I saw when we initially took over the business was like actually providing a customer service component.
Yeah.
And being a legitimate software business.
That's awesome, man. It's only $50 a month, is that right?
The starting plan is like $49 a month plus 10% commission, or you can be in the $200 a month plan with 5%, a better ROI, right? On the commission taken.
That's awesome, man. I'm curious. I want to talk about e-com just a little bit here.
Yeah.
What are you seeing is working really well? Like what products are hitting and what would people be surprised are not hitting?
Yeah, that's a great one. I see just a ton, and I mean I just feel like it's definitely more so recently with just the health wave, all these like different peptide companies, these consumables, these supplement companies, like it's amazing to me to see what a company like Gruns, sorry, Chad, I love you, and what you're doing is absolutely phenomenal. But the way that they've scaled, I mean, I remember talking to this brand. They're kind of like similar to like an AG1 type.
Yeah.
They like a couple, like just like a little over a year ago, they weren't doing that much revenue, and they recently took on funding. I'm pretty sure they had like a crazy valuation, like some 9-figure valuation. Yeah. And it's just very interesting to see. I think also like, at least selfishly, what I see a lot of is LiveRecover having a ton of success with high AOV market.
Okay.
So, you think complex products, anything from furniture to custom car parts to, cookware.
Yeah.
Gosh, shout out our boys at Hexclad. Love them there. I mean,
Are you involved with Hexclad?
No, I would love to work with them. Talked to them several times in the past. I mean, you just think about a company like that. Like, think about it. I mean, they're just a well-oiled machine.
Yeah.
They're influencer backed. They have social presence. They have awareness. They have a strong product that works.
Right.
That people love. They have supply chain solid. Their marketing team is just like super just on it. I mean, they're best in class all around, in our world and e-com specifically, like Twitter is such a melting pot. I don't know if you're a big Twitter guy, but
no, I'm not. I just can't get there. I'll visit it every now and then. It just doesn't click for me. Yeah.
It wasn't for me either, dude. But I mean, it's just like, if you're going to be kind of like where we sit and working with these types of brands, and, you got to really kind of get entrenched in it. And so I was off social media actually for 7 years. And then Corey, a couple years ago was like, hey man, like, I think you should get on Twitter. And so I, started to slowly expand and get back Twitter, back IG, but only to promote the business.
Twitter's one of your main marketing channels?
Yeah, man. Like I post consistently there. I always want to put my content there. I always try to engage with anybody there. Those are, it's a lot of very consistent, similar players, like the similar top operators, top brands, top agencies, but, in terms of like getting your info, like what you just asked, what's going on in e-com? What are the latest trends? How is have there been any tariff changes? What are people in apparel seeing versus people in consumables or supplements? So it's like a lot of a great melting pot for like just energy and data and news. What's going on. Obviously, you just got to be careful. Everyone's always touting who's the best, how great they are, how many clients they have, how much ARR they've scaled. But I like to sometimes also just keep my head down, keep blinders on, because you can't focus on what's going on too much. But you want to be like at least in tune.
Yeah, that totally makes sense. Are you seeing now? Do you think that right now a lot of people are starting e-com and because of the peptides and all that, and that the market's going to wash out a lot of these brands in the next couple years?
I think there's definitely going to be like a survival of the fittest.
Yeah.
Because this isn't like the way things used to be, where you could just start up an e-com brand or a drop shipping brand and print money, run paid ads, have a low CAC. iOS updates really messed that up and changed that.
Isn't that interesting?
I'm sure Lo.
Yep.
I don't know what sentiment you hear from your people and clients you deal with.
Nobody was happy about that. Dude.
Oh my God, that was like, all of that started to really happen when we took over the business. It went from, think about it. LiveRecover, I believe will be around forever. And especially if I have anything to do with it, but LiveRecover, I always say, was right place, right time. COVID hit, they had this app built. There was a huge need in the market. E-commerce, Shopify started to blow up because everyone needed to sell online because nothing was in-store retail.
Right.
And they started to scale revenue very, very quickly.
Yep.
And they had a great, one of my good friends, Dennis Hegstead, who's the original founder, shout out Dennis, he had such a huge Twitter presence. He had like over 100,000 followers. So he would use that and his network and his market to really push to, his people he knew, brands to test it, Liquid Death. A lot of crazy brands tested this early on. And so then, we take over the business. The world shifts on its head. Retail opens back up. iOS updates, funding dries up. Like, it was a different world, man. It's a different world these days. SaaS, the SaaS model's even different. Like, you're not just going to do the whole private equity playbook. Let's raise money. Let's scale out a SDR team to 20 people. Let's make it a numbers game, blah, blah, blah. Like all those costs, like, no. Like, the model these days that I see work best and that motivates me is lean, mean, fighting machines. Keep costs low. Maximize AI, maximize automations internally.
Yeah.
Of course, never lose the human element. Wink, wink. LiveRecover. But no, in all seriousness, like, how do you really kind of have a team of killers that are lean?
Yeah.
I think sometimes people also invest in marketing too early, like as a SaaS. Like,
I totally agree.
I think like us, I'm essentially a one-man band in terms of on the sales side.
Yeah.
So, we have never had a closing problem. LiveRecover is such a unique sale process because literally you can just talk to someone and in 10 minutes, like, as long as they're willing to try it, they can set it up and have no risk, right? So very low cost of entry. Like we've said, but I lost my train of thought, honestly.
Yeah, no, well, this is really interesting just thinking about how business has evolved. And I agree on the lean, mean thing. I think you and I are also both really just into the startup feel of things.
Yeah.
Because it's funny. I could make more money in a different playbook.
Yeah.
But I like now I'm not a startup. I've been around for 11 years. But I'm not taking capital. And people come to me all the time and they're like wanting to invest or buy it or whatever. But I like being elite at what we do. And I think that when it becomes just about making investors happy, that vibe changes. That's not a moral statement. That's just a statement about what I prefer. I also I like controlling my own situation.
Yeah.
And when investors get in the mix, that changes. But overcapitalization is a real thing.
Yeah. Yeah. I have a lot of, sure we could do a whole take on that. Because I've really only been surrounded by venture-backed-esque or, some type of investment. And it's two different risks. It's two different levels of stress.
Yep.
Both are stressful. Bootstrapping is extremely stressful. Like that's an area that I really would like to explore and potentially venture in because I'm so interested in not having to report to a board or not having to, because then when you take on investment money, like sure, there's an element of, okay, I've raised X amount of capital, but as soon as you raise that capital, you get that wire, the clock starts ticking.
Yeah.
And you got to answer.
Yeah.
To the people, and you got to make sure that
you got to hear their ideas.
It is very easy to burn that cash before you even blink. And so, how do you go about managing that versus managing the other level of stress, where it's like it can be very daunting to know, like, well, how am I going to pay payroll, or like where
totally.
how are we going to invest even to run paid ads?
Yeah, that's no fun either. That's no fun either. So I'm thinking of this one app we built. And it's one I also invested in. They right now are sitting at something like I don't think I'm allowed to say exactly, but it's multi 8 figures. However, and it's going to be 9 figures by the end of the year on their next round, which is awesome. But one of the things the CEO has to deal with is all of these investors, because he started out taking in the very beginning at a $10 million valuation. That was pre-product, pre-revenue.
Yeah.
Taking $50,000 safe notes. And some people some people bought in like at 200, they bought, you know what I mean? But a lot of people were like, here's 50, that's it. He may have even taken 25 from some people. And so he has like a decent number of people that they have ideas and they're all excited, and he's having to make sure they're like all happy. But the ideas of 20 people that can say afford 50 grand are not necessarily what you want to be listening to when you're trying to scale and get to that 9-figure valuation and 9-figure exit and all that. So he has to, like, half of his job is keeping investors happy.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But to your point, also, there's less of are we going to make payroll and stuff like that?
Yeah.
So that's nice.
No, 100%. Yeah. I mean, I just am so, because I'm not opposed of strength in numbers and it takes a village to win, but I'd much rather have it very tangible and like give a large equity stake to like a partner that actually was facilitating direct revenue, right? Like, maybe there's a strategic partner that you can see helping provide like X amount of additional client acquisition to you, and that can mean X amount of additional revenue. It would be potentially a much more bigger incentive for them to push those clients over if they had stake in the game. So I'm like more about developing, but of course, those are tough to, that's where I think an investor's value can come in, where they connect you to those types of people in order to facilitate those types of transactions. But I find so much times where investors are very silent and they're not, in the trenches or really, helping in that regard.
Yeah, For sure. Well, and that's a really good point. You need money from investors, but there's also, when you're headed towards an exit, certain level investors are the people that are going to get the buyers that you're not going to be able to get by yourself.
Yes, correct. There is that value.
Yeah, but I like the beginning stages and the lean mean. Oh, here we go. We got some.
All right, guys, here we go.
I was wondering where my goodies were.
Right? I hope you guys are hungry.
Yes.
So, what we have here is a shrimp cocktail.
Thank you.
With some parsley and lemon. And it's served with my special cocktail sauce.
Thanks, man.
You guys enjoy. And
this
let me know how it tastes, all right?
I appreciate it. This looks great.
Thank
You can
guys.
get your napkin out.
Oh,
if you want.
okay.
Yeah. Enjoy, guys.
Teach me some etiquette. Thank you.
Yeah, get a napkin,
Thank you,
man.
chef.
This looks good. Okay, so obviously we could talk for hours. It's about time to wrap up. We're going to eat some food. I'm going to go through some rapid fire questions. First, let's give this a taste.
Oh, let's give it a taste.
So this is not regular cocktail sauce.
Is it
Let's
spicy?
See, this is Manjo's cocktail
Because
sauce.
I can't do spicy.
Oh,
Okay,
well,
you're gonna see my
too
bald
late,
head
my friend.
sweat.
Let's see. No, it's
Oh,
not
okay.
spicy. Yeah, it's good.
Okay. Mm-hmm. We can get down with that.
Yeah, I like that a lot. Nice.
Tell Ludwig I want this every single time I come here.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm messing with it.
So good. All right, you ready?
Is this where we do rapid fire?
This is rapid fire.
Let's get gully.
What's one sales mistake you see companies make over and over?
Hiring.
Favorite CRM or sales tech tool besides LiveRecover?
You know, like I this might be basic, but I like Expandy a lot. Expandy,
Okay.
this little LinkedIn automation tool.
Yeah.
I'm still a firm believer in LinkedIn and e-commerce. All these people are like, LinkedIn's dead, blah, blah, blah. I love LinkedIn. I love connecting with people. I love how this gives it, like, it's automated in terms of the connections. It sets up X amount of connections to make for you per day. But you can personalize the message that goes out when you're sending the connection request to each of them. So
Yep.
I love Expandy.
I dig
Has
that.
helped definitely convert some customers.
Nice. Yeah, that's awesome. We didn't talk about golf at all, but I know that you love golf. What is your dream foursome?
Oh my God.
They have to be living.
Now I'm getting excited. So like, I don't even care so much about the big time golfers. Can this foursome be like anybody?
Anybody living.
Okay. It would be me. It would
Yeah.
be my best friend and real estate partner, Massimo Joseph Aronson.
Awesome.
It would be Joe Pesci.
Okay. Awesome.
And it would be probably got to throw in Michael Jordan.
Oh, dude. Yeah, although that could be good or bad.
I know.
He's like, I saw this video recently where he's like at some kids camp and there's 100 kids around him. And the leader, like the counselor or whatever, is like, hey, if you miss a shot, and all these kids are around, if you miss a shot, all the kids get Jordans. And I'm thinking he's going to make some shots and then he's going to miss one on purpose just to give him Jordan.
Yeah.
He didn't miss one. He was not giving those kids anything.
I love
Bucket.
I mean that's exactly why, because like what I've learned a lot about myself in the past, like little over a year, that a lot of changes have happened. And what I think kind of like was like lost in me a little bit when I was going through stuff is how much of I live and die by competition. And like we're all competitive. We're all like, especially, you know, being successful, you got to have that juice in you. But like there's just an element of like golfing recently and all these things. It's helped me reignite that flame and know like that's really, I think, one of my best qualities is like at the end of the day, you're going to have to kill me to get me to quit. And I love competition.
I love it. Me too, man.
And Jordan, to the point, Jordan, I need him in there because there's no bigger competitor and someone that loves to win than him.
Right.
And then Joe Pesci will kind of lighten the mood at times, probably throwing some jokes here and there, you know?
Yeah. Favorite gym playlist song?
Don't judge me. This is Adore You by Hugel.
Okay.
Okay.
I know that one.
I was in Ibiza in Italy this summer, so I was big on like the house music
Nice.
vibe.
Okay, I dig it. When when we first came in, you were giving me shit about my hat because you like sports,
I did.
but not the Flyers apparently. We might have to go to a game sometime together. What is the best sports moment you've ever seen live?
That's so good. I'd have to say when I was interning at my first startup in California, and I went to the USC Stanford game, and Stanford had Andrew Luck. They were like number 3 in the country. USC wasn't that good. They actually were about to upset them. They did upset them. They won. And as they were getting ready to kick the field goal, everyone was about to storm the field. And like I, for some reason, was like trying to behave that day and was like, my buddies were about to do it. I was like, no. They're like, calm down. And then we're going down. And then like the security people are like, not like, don't do that. They're like, not yet. And then I'm like, okay. Like, and so then he hits the field goal. We all storm the field. And then like, I'm like jumping on the kicker. And like, we're like, I have pictures on my Instagram, but that was definitely one of the dopest experience I've ever had. Probably easily the best sporting event experience.
That sounds like a lot of fun. Right now, what is your handicap? You have to be honest.
Logan, that is, I mean, do you want my social too? Do you want my social? I mean, okay. It's like a 28, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, nice. Okay.
It's a 28, yeah.
Nice. Very cool. If you had 1 week off with no tech at all, where would you go?
Japan, because I really want to go to Asia.
Oh, yeah? I grew up in Japan.
Oh, are you kidding me?
Yeah, I did.
Get out of here.
It is worth it.
Do you know Japanese?
Skoshi. Little bit. Little bit.
Oh my God, yeah. You know, like unassuming white boy speaking Japanese, that would be lethal. That would be lethal.
All right, last question.
Yeah.
If you had to pick, play 18 holes or close a $500,000 deal on like the nicest day of the year.
I'll close the deal.
I'll
close the deal. I mean, but the addiction is biting me right now. The addiction, you know, because I'm addicted to both. Closing the deal, 18. You know,
I love it.
I'm playing 18 tomorrow. I'm playing 36 Saturday. Then I have to fly Sunday to San Diego, or else I'd be playing another probably 18.
You played the game and answered the question fairly, but the real thing you would do. The real thing you would do is you would try to close the deal while you were on the golf
exactly,
course.
Which, you know, I've fell in love with that too, because there's times where, you know, you could, I can demo a lot, like, or people can want to see the software and demo. But I think when you're, you know, when you're doing something for as long as I have, I don't think you really need to share the software. There can be a lot of just conversation to help get the value across and help the customer want to get on. And so I've closed a lot of good deals and partnerships on the golf course, and I have severe like bad attention problems, ADD, ADHD. So like my golf game is horrible when I'm like taking the calls.
Got it.
But like it's still therapeutic. That's the biggest thing for me is like, as much as it kills me, and like I know I'm so close to actually being decent and all these, like I've just never. It's humbling. It's so humbling, competitive, and like I love when I feel a little of the juices flowing on the golf course, and then I start to say, all right, you guys ready to gamble? Let's go.
Nice.
Next hole, $10 a hole.
I love it, dude. I like that too. Yeah. Dude, thanks so much for coming on the show. Where can people find you?
Yeah, so first off, thank you so much for having me. This has been great. I hope we can do this again. Find me on X, Twitter, at Steve LEQ30, Steve Lec30. Instagram, Steve Lequerica. If you know how to spell my last name, you'll be well ahead of the game. But just type in LEQ. There's no one else with Lequerica. And LiveRecover, you ever want to hit us up? Any e-commerce brands, come from Logan. Get a free trial. Give it to you for free as long as you need to understand the value. Steve at liverecover.com.
Awesome. Thanks, man. This has been the Logan Fields Podcast. I'll see y'all next time.